Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Hunslet Goods Railway Explore, and we're here today at the Hunslet Swing Bridge just down by the canal. Now just behind me is where the railway, the Hunslet Goods Railway, would have come from Pontefract Road, curved its way towards us here. This building is built on the exact site of where the embankment would have been, and just above me here now would have been the start of the swing bridge. And I'm going to pan you around and just give you a quick glimpse of what is left of the old engine or the old mechanism in the middle that would have turned the swing bridge that the bridge sat on. And it's still there today. You can just see the round building there. Now we are going to make our way round and take a closer look at that, and hopefully I can get you a shot from above as well, if I can, and show you, because I'm told anyway that the mechanism for the swing for the bridge is actually still inside that building there in the middle of it. So I'm hopefully going to see that on the drone. If not, then it's going to be a very disappointing flight. However, we will have a look around the site as well and see what is left of the bridge. Now there is a few pieces over there, a few abutments, you like that word, are left over there. And also we're going to continue beyond that and across to where the goods shed would have been and all the industry on the other side, and see if there's anything remaining over there. So let's take a walk down and I'll show you this building just behind me here. See, here we are on this crisp, cold winter's day down by the Aire and Calder Canal and the Nostrop Lock, which is just in front of us there. Let's take a look at this building. Now, as you can clearly see, the swing bridge would have gone from behind me here right across to that abutment over there, and then there's a further abutment behind that, and then it would have ended up on the site over there, which is now heavy industry, and then made its way left down towards Leeds, where it terminated at the goods shed down there. But anyway, while we're here, let's take a look at the story of the swing bridge that crossed the Aire and Calder Canal, and the rumour that it never ever swung in its life. And I'll tell you the story of why in a minute. Now, as I've mentioned previously, this bridge was built when the line opened. So the line opened in the late 1800s and it closed in 1967 as part of the usual beaching cuts. This swing bridge remained here until 1977 when it was finally demolished. Now it's a shame, because it would have been such a beautiful sight today to see this spanning across there over the navigation as it is today. Now while we're here, I'm just going to try show you a couple of pictures just so you can visualise what the bridge would have looked like where we are today. So I'm going to fade this picture in here and you can see the bridge spanning across in front of us. And you can see that that abutment over there in the middle of the canal still remains today. Couldn't make it up, could you? So I've come down here on one of the quietest winter days, and it's an evening as well. And there's somebody with a leaf blower, a lawnmower and a chainsaw right next to me, right near the structure. Typical, isn't it? Why today? Okay, so I'll tell you the story behind this and why it never swung. Now, back in the day, this was widened with the intention of it becoming a ship canal all the way from Goole. A bit like the Manchester Ship Canal, and they could bring all their goods in from the sea, from Goole, all the way down into the centre of Leeds. So when that plan was going through, they were building this bridge at the time, and they were told that they must allow for ships to pass underneath that bridge here. So they made it rather as tall as they could anyway. But obviously, with the ships being a lot higher, they wanted to make it so it could swing to get out the way for the ships coming into Leeds. As it turns out, that never happened. So ships never made it into Leeds. They did widen the canal all the way in, but they never brought goods in from Goole down into Leeds. Not on ships anyway. So the bridge was never needed to be opened, because all you were having down here were barges and low boats really. So they never needed to open the actual bridge. Now, I'm told it never ever opened, but I'm a bit dubious about that. I believe that they would have tried it out a few times, and also they would have probably done it to maintain it as well. But they did say it never ever swung for actual traffic on the river anyway. So when we get over there, and I show you where the line went into the goods shed down there, later in its life, they did build an extension from the North East Railway, which is up the top side up there, which leaves Leeds and exits up north. They actually made a branch line that came off the NER and came down the back of the industrial area to join with this line here. So they could also access the same site and the industry that was appearing down here. Now that was also supplying the Waterloo Colliery, which was all over this site at the back up there. So yeah, it did extend up to the NER, but that was a separate company that owned that line. So we just made our way across to the other side of the locks, the Nostrop Lock, from the actual mechanism. Now, as you saw in that footage, and it appears that Billy was right on my live stream, he said he thought they'd taken the mechanism out many years ago, because he remembers as a kid going inside it and it had gone then. And it looks like he was right, because we couldn't see anything. There was a few bits of metal in there, but there didn't seem to be any engines or motors in there. So what we're going to do while we're here is just make our way across there to the other side and see what remains. Just while we're here, I just thought I'd show you this. So as I was saying back in the day, this would have been a very busy thoroughfare into Leeds. As we know, the waterways were more important back then, before the railways. And you can see that they had two locks here. There's one over there which still exists, and then this one here which has been filled in. But the front end remains, and the front of it here as well. Just thought I'd show you that while we were here. So let's head over and have a look at the other side of the bridge. Now, it's crazy to think that right above my head here would have been the bridge, above there. But I believe there was another abutment somewhere around here in the middle on this island. So this would have been where the swing part of the bridge rested, on this abutment here. And then it was carried across on two smaller viaducts across to the other side of the River Aire down there. And that's the central one in the middle. You can clearly see that there, but I'll just have a look down here. I think you can see the edge of the wall where the abutment was. You can just see the triangle section there. So it would have been here. Obviously now it's been removed and I'm stood right on top of it now. So we're about to make our way over the new Knowsthorpe Bridge, which I actually quite like. Now, if you watched my cycling video from summer, I came over here on the bike. You get a better view of the abutments from here. So like I said, that's the central one, which would have supported the viaduct here, this span. So this is the River Aire and the canal where the ships would have been, apparently coming in, would have been down there. And as you can see, we've got some kind of an engine parked up there. So this bit of the line up here is still in use. There's actually a buffer just up there. This part of the line is now in use for the industry that's over here, which I'm told is some kind of an oil terminal or gasworks or something just beyond it there. And they still use the freight line, which is now only connected to the North Eastern Railway, which is behind it, no longer connected to this side. You can clearly see the engine up there, or the trailer anyway, and then you can just see the buffer there on the hill. So we just made our way a bit further down, and we still have a bridge remaining just over here. So on top of the bridge is what the Hunslet Goods line that we're looking at. And then just down there, because all this would have been sidings and a goods yard and things like that. Further down there, a line snaked off and made its way down here and underneath there. Now, I believe that that was part of the Waterloo Colliery line. So that would have supplied the collieries and things further up. And then it continued straight forward and down into the goods shed, which we'll take a look at soon. And then it also bent off right up to the NER. So I've just had to go back to the car to get my coat and my gloves on. It's absolutely freezing. It's just plummeted, but it is January. Now, I've brought you off the beaten track a little bit. So I've got the River Aire to my left here. And the Nostrop Locks are way down there. And instead of crossing over there on the bridge, I've come underneath the bridge and onto this, like a track which runs down the side of the river that I want to be on. Now all this site here, all the way down to Nostrop, which is quite a fair way now, probably half a mile, maybe more. All of this site was a heavy industry, goods yards, sidings, things like that. Now, as you know, all the best stuff to find is normally off the beaten track. So that's why I've come down here today. And I'm just peering in through the fence. Now, you can't really see much on here, but I'm peering through there because I'm expecting loads of remains of things, old and industrial, to be hidden in those trees. Now, I've seen something on Google Earth. I always scour the sites before I go anywhere. And I've seen something on Google Earth that I want to check out, which is down here. And it looks like some kind of a, I don't know, maybe a stave, or I don't know if it's railway related or not. But it kind of looks like some wooden girders hidden in the trees. So I made it to some kind of a clearing on the side of the river. And I think I found exactly what I was looking for. And it's just behind me in them trees. Now up on that hill would have been the railway, or one of the many branch lines coming off the railway and heading straight through to the goods shed, which would have been just down there. Now we will get to the goods shed in a minute, but before we do, I just wanted to explore around here. Now you can just see a bridge wall through them trees there. So I'm going to have a wander round, see if I can get closer to it. So I've just found a gap in the fence down here. Now I know there used to be a mill complex down here. Well, according to the old maps anyway, and also a large chimney. But I've just found exactly what I was looking for, and it's right here. And I have no idea what it is at this stage. But can you see that emerging through the trees? Let's get a bit closer. Now what the hell is that? So that to me looks like some kind of a water channel, maybe, because the river's just behind us down there. Would they have brought water through for some reason, and the railway would have gone over the top there? That's definitely a railway structure. Like I said, there were branch lines. I wonder if it was some kind of a stave of some form, where they would have brought the barges in and tipped the goods off the trains up there down into the barges. And I don't know what the name of them is. I know I've seen a few on other people's channels before, but this one is just hidden in the middle of the trees. So let's take a better look at it, really. Now you can clearly see the railway wall there with the missing span of the bridge on top, and then you've got these tanks down here. Let's go a bit further in. It's huge concrete blocks with drainage covers in. Yeah, there's water inside there. I hate it when you can't see what you're walking on. Yeah, this looks like some kind of a, I don't know, like a loading dock of some sort. Who knows? So let's take a look So I've just been in there, and like I said, it's just concrete channel. Let's just take a look in the other ones. And you can see how thick that timber is there. That's just totally rotted away. This must be years old. And you can see what appears to be sleepers there on a piece of wood, which has obviously fallen down from up there. And yeah, there's some kind of a bridge down there, or like a culvert. And exactly the same in this one, another culvert sort of bridge structure down there. And yeah, it just seems to repeat itself all the way along, really. I'm going to keep going and just see if there's anything further down. So I've just changed the lens on the camera so you can see a wider shot of it here, because it's really hard because I'm really close to it and I can't get back because of the trees. You can get a better, wider view of it here. Yeah, it's a very fascinating structure. I have no idea what it is. Like I said, I've looked on the old maps and it shows a mill or a factory being down behind us. And then here it just shows a load of railway lines and some kind of an underpass. But either it was long gone when the map was made, or this was after. But I'm going to do a bit of digging. And if I find anything about it, I'll put it in the video below. And then one final look there, you can see another one of those brick culverts on the last one. And then you can see the curve of the wall, the supporting wall. And there's one for you here, Simon Cohen. A brick for you. It says Leeds Fire Clay Co Limited on it. Lots of bricks in here. Over here, look. Get yourself down here, Simon. Get yourself some bricks. Alright, so I've got to the end of this bridge section and I'm really tempted to go up there, so that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I can't not head up there and see what it is from the top. A massive sleeper there. Yeah, so it looks like I'm on the old track bed up here. And there it is from the top. So the tracks would have obviously run across here and dropped their goods down there, and I'm presuming they would have been linked to the river down there via some kind of waterway. It looks like a waterway down there, but it's all filled in now, so it's hard to tell. This is what I saw from Google Earth from up there, these tops here. Anyway, let's go to the edge and have a look in there and see what's inside there. So we've made it to the other side of that structure. I'm stood on a wall at the minute, just down here. So there would have been multiple lines in this yard here back in the day. Many, many lines heading through and onwards up that way where it joined the NER and the goods shed, which was just down there on the left. Now I am going to go a bit further down, but I don't think we're going to see anything. There's a brand new industrial park built on there now. You can clearly see part of the site of the goods shed here, where all the lines would have come in and headed that way. But anyway, let's make our way back out and onto the path down there and head up and see what's left of that goods shed, if anything. Okay, so unfortunately we can't make it any further down the banking here on the River Aire. The towpath comes to an abrupt end here. Now the goods shed is just down there. But this is where my drone comes in handy. There is a nice little clearing just over there. So I'm going to take the drone in there, send it up, and rather than me head all the way round through Leeds to show you nothing but an industrial site, I'm going to show you on the drone what remains of the goods shed site over here. Okay, so let's cut to the drone. So I'm going to take you up and just show you what remains of the goods shed site, and you can clearly see the boundaries there. And like I said, now it's just industrial units. And then I'll give you a quick pan round of the whole site from above. So you can see there the whole of the goods site where all the sidings would have been, and all the works and the chemical works, the gas works and things like that. and you can see all the way down there to where the Nostrop Locks are and the swing bridge just beyond there. And then I'm going to pan you down here and just show you what I saw on Google Earth, which was the top of that structure that we just went and explored. And you can see it down there, look. And then just before we end this video, I'm going to give you a nice pan round of Leeds city centre on a winter's evening. Well, I hope you enjoyed that drone shot there, but I think that's all we can do in this video now. We've come right to the end, and like I said, just beyond it, it would have continued onto the NER, which was a later addition. But we've covered the whole of the Hunslet Goods line now. And I really enjoyed that one because it was completely different, with it being rural-ish when it started off, and then we've had bridges, viaducts, and then even industrial sides over here. We've had a bit of everything, which I've really enjoyed. And I know you guys have enjoyed it as well. So I hope you enjoyed the series. Now, I'm not sure what the next series is going to be, but keep your eyes peeled on the channel every Sunday for a new video. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comments down below. I'll see you soon. Bye.